Do you want to talk about the portaging stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that took place.
Do you want to first talk about what portaging is? Because like I didn't even know what it was until like a couple years ago. Because we don't have that in New Zealand.
So it's like a form of camping where pretty much what we had it is we started in one place. They dropped us off, and it was just a big open lake, and we had to meet at another place to get picked up like a few days later. So pretty much you're canoeing most of the day, and then at some points you'd have to pick up your canoe and you have to walk it across places where there's no water to try to get to where you're going. So that a lot of the time we were either canoeing or carrying our canoe, and we'd be sleeping over. So I think we were portaging for like, I think it was a week in total. So we had to get from one place
A week in total?
Yeah.
Damn.
We ran into a lot of problems though.
Yeah, like what problems arised?
I've only been portaging once. This is the only time I've been. So I never got a proper experience where nothing went wrong.
Okay.
But pretty much we got dropped off one day, and this is after scouts. This isn't like after grade 8.
Okay.
So at this point I'm like going into high school.
Okay.
So me and George are in it. And this is our first year going to this camp, but we're still already like the oldest ones there.
All right.
Of the campers. So it was us, George, and like I'd say like 4 other little boys with us. And then there's like 2 older guys. One of them was like Peter, or no, it was an older guy and an older girl. It was like, oh, if George was here, he'd remember all the names because he works with these people now.
Okay,
but
you're right.
I'll call them Peter and Ava, let's just say.
Ava, okay.
Peter and Ava, and then George was with me. And we get into the canoes, and right off the bat, we can see that these little kids with us and Ava aren't going to be the best canoers.
Oh.
Yeah.
They were struggling on the canoe or something?
Yeah. So it was always either me or George in the canoe with the Ava and the other little kid. I think it was like, we had like a canoe for every 2 people. So I'd say there's like 4 canoes. And we go off the first day, and already we're like an hour behind schedule on where we need to be.
Oh, we're just going too slow?
Because like by this point we should have already been a lot further.
Yeah.
And then it kind of kept on like that. We eventually caught back up, and by like the 3rd day we were like on schedule, but this is where we should have been way ahead because we knew there's inclement weather coming.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing to happen on a portaging trip.
So it was like probably like the 3rd night, and there's like really bad rain. And the bad part wasn't the rain. The worst part was the bugs.
Oh, the bugs?
The bugs after the rain were terrible.
And they just crawl into a tent or something?
Yeah, I had like, no, not really in our tent, but it was just like during
the portage, right? Because like they come on the river surface.
It was kind of the best in the river. It was the worst when we were portaging, carrying.
Oh, carrying it? So
pretty much, I had like hundreds of mosquito bites on me. If I shook my head, then literally bugs would fall out of my head.
What?
It was terrible.
So nasty.
And here's like literally the worst part. It was just like the worst experience ever. There was like one area. These canoes were heavy, so it had to be like 2 people carrying a canoe.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think it was like 1.5 kilometers that we had to travel.
Oh.
Like, and it was just all land, and it was really hilly. And and it would have been fine. The hills were like bad, and the distance was bad. The bugs were the worst thing ever.
Yeah, they just keep biting you.
Yeah, and we had these little kids with us who like couldn't carry a canoe, so it would always have to be me, George. Ava could kind of carry a canoe with help, and I forget his name. I'll call him Peter. He was a beast. Yeah, this guy was a beast. He could carry a whole canoe by himself.
Damn, canoes are pretty big.
Yeah, so this guy did like, we had to do so many trips back and forth. It was crazy.
What do you mean by back and forth?
Because not only did we have to carry the canoes, but we had a bunch of, there's containers that we had our food in, we had our rations in, we had all of our equipment in.
Yeah.
So which just made it.
So you have to carry the canoe over and then come back and grab the food and go over? Damn.
And there's like 4 canoes, so, and the little kids couldn't carry any of them, so we had to do multiple trips.
Oh, you had to do multiple trips to canoes.
Yeah, so it was like.
It's like a workout.
It was a workout. It was like 8K, and the bugs were the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And then And then here, we're not even at the bad part yet.
That's not the bad part?
No, that was like the worst experience for me. But the worst experience overall, we had a, this was like probably like a day later. We were like almost at the end. And Peter, this guy was carrying a canoe and he was on a beam because it was in a marsh and there's a beam and this guy fell off the thing and he got a concussion.
No.
So we had to get out like, we had a satellite phone with us.
Uh-huh.
So we had to get out the satellite phone.
No way you got helicopter back.
That was a possibility.
Yeah.
He almost got helicoptered
Like
back.
Bear Grylls style.
Yeah, but there was another at the place where we were at. There's like another place that you could drive through. So we called the people and we got 2 other older guys to drive. Like they drove out there and then they canoed all the way to us.
Damn, how far out were you from the street that they had to canoe over? Like,
By this point, it wasn't that far. We were just there for a few hours.
okay.
And then one of the people brought him back, and the other guy just stayed with us and like replaced him. He's a pretty chill guy. And then eventually,
This sounds like such a rickety camp. It's just like there's like no one in it. It's just you and George and some little boys.
yeah, no. But then it turned up because there's another group of a bunch of other boys, and eventually we met up with them while we were portaging because we didn't have like the supplies or whatever. We had to meet up with another group.
Oh, you ran out of supplies?
To finish the portage. They had a great time. They ran into no problems at all.
Oh,
we had to meet up with them so that we didn't like die.
Damn.
Yeah.
How was it like for water there? Did you have to drink from the river using like cleaning tablets, or did you have water? No way you're carrying the water for
No.
That's so much.
It was similar to the cleaning tablets. They had a gravity drop. So you like you filled up the water, you put it in this thing, and it would filter it out using like gravity or something.
Do you trust that?
It was good. It was great water.
Yeah?
It's better than the water in the tap.
No way.
Yeah.
Does it get, you sure it gets parasites and stuff in the river?
No, I'm sure. Because like
Really?
they use these for like all the camp, and like the water literally tastes better. It was a long process because you would hang it up and there's like a spout at the bottom and the water would get like sucked out. So from like a massive thing you get like a water bottle, but you knew it was great water.
Oh, really? It's like from like a lot of water you only get like a bit.
Yeah.
How long does the process take?
We just leave it up and then we'd leave it for like a couple hours and then it'd be good.
How many liters does it take? Like, is it like a big one?
I just remember
It's like a water dispenser size.
Yeah,
Just go in the river and you fill it up.
You'd fill it up and then you take it over and then you just put your water bottle under and it just eventually, I think it would get all the water eventually. It just took a really long time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And this was in Algonquin?
Yeah, so Gonk was like it was a pretty light place as well. Like there's other places that you could have gone to.
Oh, like Algonquin was a pretty safe one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always get scared, like if you do portage, what if you accidentally get into like a waterfall area? Like, how would you know, like...
Oh, they've done this thing like 100s of times.
Right, okay, so they know like everywhere.
Like Peter, when I was with, I don't think he does it anymore. Like, I know George has portaged, like I think he's gone on 2 trips last summer, and then we went on the trip before too. Mm-hmm. This is like, I think it's coming up his 3rd summer as a counselor there.
Yeah.
So he's probably gone on tons of trips, but I know he's done like the same thing plenty of times. So like they know what they're doing and stuff.
Is there ever like danger zones of rivers that like there's a fork or anything? You have to make sure you go on the right side and not the left or something like that?
Kind of. There's like marshes where if we went one way, then it would be really hard to get back out.
Oh, like a marsh, marsh area.
And there's sometimes where we were going the wrong direction on our map.
Oh.
So we had to like reorient and stuff.
Yeah.
But it ended up working out.
Did you ever feel like you were like paddling upstream and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, there's sometimes, it was the winds. And sometimes there's open water and the wind at us was like brutal. If you stop paddling for like 20 seconds, then you move back like 10 meters.
Really?
It was terrible.
That bad?
It was terrible.
Oh my gosh. How tiring was it after every day, and then you just slept in the tent? Did you get good sleep while you're doing the portage?
Yeah. Well, honestly, this is like back when I was a little uneducated kid.
Oh yeah.
The Peter guy told me that if I did this, then I was gonna get super jacked and stuff. So I was like always super sore because I was just pulling the entire day.
Yeah.
But then I thought I was gonna get really jacked.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind it.
And how was the sleep good in the tents and stuff? I personally like sleeping in tents is so bad for me.
Yeah, I've slept in tents like hundreds of times, so it's fine. But like, we had 3 tents with us. One for the older people, one for the little boys, and then our tent with me, my tent with George. And me and George have done tents like so many times that once we got there, we'd put our tent instantly. So then we'd sleep just fine. But then the other little boys would be setting up their tent for like forever.
That would be like me.
Yeah, we had to help them eventually.
Actually, we had a lot of tents back in New Zealand. Oh, funny story. There was one time we're going to Raglan to do some like surfing. We put on our big tent. Like it was like we had like a big like like a shelter tent. So it's not like an actual tent. It's just like a big shelter basically.
Yeah, I know.
We had that and it was like the size of like the square here. It was like pretty big. And then the second we put it up, it was like thunder and lightning and rain. So we had to put it down. And it was getting blown away. Like it was bad. It was pretty bad.
I always see that at like track meets and stuff. Those tents always get blown away and stuff. It's so funny.
Yeah. Do you ever think about like doing a portage in the future and stuff? Do you like it?
Look, we should run one up.
Yeah.
Run up a portage trip.
Do you know Calvin? Like the guy from last year, like the big Calvin guy?
He's a grade below us.
Grade above us.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, he said he did this portage like due to hunting as well. And they were there, he said they saw a moose and the moose was like 6 meters tall or something, and he was super scared.
That's
and the moose was
crazy.
just staring at them when they were like carrying their canoe. But yeah, he said it was like super scary. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one when we were on the. You know, I told you about the super long time we had to carry the canoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the middle of it, there's like, in the super far in the distance, there's like a really loud beeping noise, and it was like I think they told us it was like a satellite tower or something, but it was like the scariest thing. When it was like overcast and it was already dark in these wooded woods.
Oh, it was dark when you were carrying it?
It's because of all the coverage and from the trees. And
right.
There's no sun out during that time.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. Oh, that must be scary feeling.
It was so scary.
There was no like bear encounter or anything, like coyotes or anything like that?
This thing we were traveling on was like an island thing, so there's no bears on that. But I think there's there's another story for this trip. We stopped at one camp, but we didn't stay at this camp because we stopped and then we were taking all our stuff out, and me and George went up and we ventured up this hill, and at the top of the hill
there's a big bear.
That would have been crazy. Oh my gosh. But there's we found remnants of people who got attacked by a bear. So
what do you mean you found remnants of people who got attacked?
I told you about this when we were disc golfing one time, but
like the bear thing.
Yeah.
What did you call it? Like the bear? What did you call it last time? You said like the thing they hang up to get like their stuff away from the bears. And
So pretty much, a lot of the time when they're trying to get stuff away from bears overnight, they'll set up like there'll be wires really high up or like hooks really high up where you can put all your stuff. But pretty much when we went up, we found that there's one of those, but it was like torn apart completely.
Oh,
and
really? Like the bear was trying to get the stuff?
Yeah, and there's like good equipment, but it was strewn everywhere. And we were so confused because we don't know why it didn't like get taken or something. Or
did you take the stuff? Did you take the loot?
I think we took like a tackle or a mess kit or something like that has utensils in it, but we just left the rest of it. But it's actually crazy.
Wow.
And like we still wonder what happened to the people whose stuff it was.
Yeah, what the heck?
It was like a lot of equipment.
Yeah. What was the safety gear you guys had to bring for safety and stuff? You have your like first aid kit and stuff. Do you have bear repellent?
No.
Do you have like a little pistol?
I think
a little gun.
I don't even remember. They never really briefed us on that.
No, really? I thought that's like the first thing they have to brief you on, like the safety.
Because the less stuff you're carrying, the better in there. So like
but I thought like bear repellent is like everyone gonna carry that.
I'm sure there's
when you're in the wild in Canada.
There's some precautions. We had a flare gun too. I remember that. But the less stuff you're carrying was better because before we went out, we went to like this one area and we like chose what food we were gonna have, but we had to set it up for like the amount of people we had, the best amount of people, so that
the lightest gear.
Because like the more gear you had, it was terrible. You'd have to do more trips, and then you just have to get even more tired. Yeah.
What was the food you guys ate that you were eating? Like ramen or something? Or is that too heavy? Or is that too? Well, ramen's pretty light. Ramen. Like 2-minute noodle.
Oh, okay. Well,
did you have that stuff?
We actually had a lot of food because we had a few of these barrels. They're like big black barrels, like this big, and they're like this tall.
Oh, damn.
And you can wear them like a backpack. It was actually really convenient.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
But we had like
what food do you have? Like
something that I always had was we had like these massive bags of like rations, and I just eat them the whole time. Like,
rations?
Yeah, they're like really good. They have like
are those like the nuts mixed with the chocolate things? Are you talking about those?
Yeah,
ones?
pretty much.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And then
the trail mix. They call it the trail mix.
Yeah, we had like it was like interesting though. It's like weird trail mix. I remember there's like dried banana in it.
Dried banana.
But I messed with dried banana, so it was good.
Yeah, it's like plantain chips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
And what did you eat every day? Like dehydrated mashed potatoes or something?
oh, that would have been horrible. No, we actually ate pretty good. I remember we had hot dogs. We had cold cuts sometimes, like sandwiches.
Huh. I thought that would be too heavy to pack, like sandwiches and hot dogs.
No, it wasn't that bad, honestly. I remember for like the last night we packed enough stuff. I think it might have been either 7 days or like 5 days or something like that. We packed enough to like make like s'mores and stuff. And also like
nice.
one time we made like this like juice thingy. It was really bad. It was so bad. Yeah.
Did you guys ever mess up on the canoe or like anyone near you like fall off, flip it? Any of that happen or not really?
I've heard about that thing happening. Like I remember the guy talked about it, but we never had anything like that.
No.
I'm sure if the weather was some worse, like we had some close calls.
Were like you flipped?
Yeah.
Really?
But like that's just if there's like a lot of weight on one side or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you and George ever mess up anything like badly?
I don't even remember. This is like, what I'm thinking about, it's like after like grade 8, so it's not
Right.
that long ago, but it just feels so long ago.
It does
in
feel
my
like a
brain.
long time ago from like all the high school stuff.
Like all that camping stuff. That's why I want to kind of go back and try it again sometime.
Yeah. And that was Algonquin when you guys did it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know there's other ones, but yeah.
Oh, when did you do it? Like summertime? Must be summertime. Must
Yeah.
be summertime.
This was just like 2 weeks in the summer.
Right. How was the view there? Was it like very nice?
The view?
Yeah, the view.
Oh, at the camp we were at?
Yeah, at Algonquin, yeah.
Oh, no. Algonquin was just like one of the weeks of the 2 weeks we were there at this camp.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where did you go after that?
So the first week we were there, it was just a whole camp, and it was just like so many kids. Just like imagine a summer camp. That's pretty much how it was.
Oh, yeah.
So we were like in our cabin, and it was our cabin that went out on this portaging trip together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how it worked. I see.
And there's like it was on a whole lake, and you just did different stuff throughout the day, you know.
It's pretty cool. Was there any disc golf there?
Oh, I'm pretty sure there probably was, but I wasn't tapped into disc golf at the time.
No, damn. You know there's one at the Waterloo?
Actually,
There's a lake, and then on the map of the campus, you see disc golf at the very top, like the whole one.
is it good?
I don't know. It's
Bro.
probably pretty, like, pretty chill. Yeah. All right. You want to move on to a different topic?
Yeah.
But it would have been so fun if George was also here and he could
know.
talk about the portages.
No, he knows way more about the portaging stuff. Like,
Yeah.
if you get him on another episode, bro, I'll come back and
Yeah,
talk about
we'll
the
come back and
portaging
rerun it, bro. Because, like, it's also, like, easier when you have multiple people because when you, like, can't think of anything, they just fill it in. Like, me, Miguel, Ashwin.
stuff. My memories of that was over, like, the span of, like, 2 weeks was that whole camp.
Yeah.
But he's had, like, 3 summers worth of those
Yeah,
experiences.
he's, like, every summer he leaves. That's why you can't come on the grad trip, bro. You would have loved the grad trip.
Yeah, that would have been sick.
All right, we'll cut this part off. All right. Let's see. Do you want to talk about like going into university or like just your high school experience so far?
Sure, we can just...
What do you want to, like, you tell me.
I don't even know. I don't know.
Like, what sports and stuff did you do in high school? Let's think.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
You did like some football too, no?
Yeah.
You're like the guys that's like jack of all trades, but master of none.
I should
You're like a jack of like all. If you vibe with this combo, drop a like, leave a comment, and hit that sub button. We'll catch you next time on Different Walks, Different Talks.